I can't pronounce your name. You have to change your identity. He says, how to identify and integrate our shadow self? I think I know how you're going to answer. You're going to start with he won't be able to recognize shadow traits unless a therapist or an external girlfriend or someone tells them what's wrong with them. And then there's a process of them absorbing the truth, because a lot of people have resistance. Like, you're a fat slob, or you don't work. All you do is play PlayStation, right? So he's dealing with sloth through a Christian perspective.
But you question the person making those accusations, because that's
you question them. But if it gets you angry, she's telling you the truth. I have this.
If it gets you angry, she's telling the truth. But if she's very wound up and emotional about that, it says something about her too.
Yeah, but
the shadow's always projected onto the other person. That's the only way you'd be able to identify.
Right, but what if she's high functioning? If she's working 12-hour days and you're just playing PlayStation, and she says you're lazy,
that's not good.
No. Then what are you gonna do there? How do you integrate? How do you move forward from that? Because I'll tell you this: most of them just keep playing PlayStation. I get this fucking email a million times.
Disgusting.
Oh, my wife. No, I get this. Not wife. When my girlfriend says, like, play PlayStation. Why the fuck would I work for $8 an hour when I can do other things, like maybe streaming? And I always ask, have you started? Nope. Yeah. It's been 2 years. I'm still playing PlayStation, and I'm like, dude, I'll tell you this: your life changes when you say everything your woman tells you about you is the truth.
That's a very
especially if she's a dirty bitch, right? A dirty bitch.
It says a lot about her too, actually.
Yeah, but
by definition, the idea of integrating the shadow is impossible without another person involved. It has to be an interpersonal experience, because by definition, you cannot identify your own shadow, or it's not in your shadow.
Right, because
it has to be projected. There's a reaction formation, there's a projection, there's denial, there's introjection, all the ego defenses.
Oh, there's steps to it. Yo, give us the steps, bro. Look, I guess, it's like a process of grieving and shit, right? Like, you deny first. I'm not lazy. I'm just COVID. It's just COVID.
Yeah, I'm saying the ego defenses are what you should look at to identify your shadow. And I'm making the argument that the shadow cannot be identified by the individual. It has to be an interpersonal process through therapists.
That's horrible for you loner types, because for some reason, as social as I can be,
how would you be able to identify your shadow? It cannot be your shadow. If you're
it's literally behind you.
If you're consciously aware of it, it cannot be your shadow.
That's why family is so important.
Family's important. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Wow. I never told them that, but we had this conversation.
That's the argument we make. So, guys, I should explain. I'm an object relations therapist. I'm not a Jungian therapist, but my understanding of the shadow is built on the premise created by Freud, which is that it's the id. Right, id, ego, superego.
I'm not influent in Freud at all.
You don't know the id?
I know the id's the dark one, right? The evil one.
The primitive pleasure principle, like you seek pleasure.
The shadow makes more sense. Why the Jungian stuff? All right, explain it quickly for us.
Which part?
There's superego, ego.
Yeah, there's the id, ego, and superego. The id is basically the biological instincts, the biological drives that we have to pursue pleasure, to pursue the alleviation from death anxiety, and the ego is our concept of ourselves, and the superego are the morals, the rules that society places upon us in order for us to navigate the world.
And I say superego, I guess superego would.
That's a very basic.
Superego would fold. If I mix it with Jungian, superego would mold the persona.
The superego is the persona.
Okay.
It's
collective.
Because the persona is the mask that you put on in order to interact with the world in a way where you're not ostracized.
Yeah.
So the idea is that, and this is
so basically, if you
from having studied object relations, from having studied psychoanalysis, having studied Jung, which is a form of psychoanalysis technically, my understanding is that they use different words. Jung approaches it more mystically and spiritually. Freud approaches it very biologically,
but it's still
in the realm of Charles, Darwin, very Darwinian.
Yeah.
And object relations approaches it very, in a familial way, right? Implicating the parents, implicating interpersonal relationships. But the concepts are the same. The id is the shadow, the superego is the persona. Roughly speaking, there's some differences between
actually. I kind of lead my people astray, because when I throw Jung at them, there's 10 terms they got to memorize. But with Freud, there's 3.
What are the 10?
Well, there's a lot with Jung. Like, if we go into shadow, persona, ego, the all concentric thoughts, basically of what you're willing to be aware of, the anima, the animus, the Jungian self of who you are, the collect. And then when you add the collective unconscious, there's 1,000 million different things. Like, when you look at id, I guess this one's more practical. They should start with this stuff.
But even Jung admits that the id is...
Yeah, well, no, hold on. Let's not confuse this, guys. Jung is a Freudian psychologist, right? The whole framework. Yeah. So, But all right, next question, guys. You're knocking these out of the park. Yo, your first day is fucking. Please keep doing these with us, bro. Guys, I said I'll stop getting in trouble if he fucking helps me out.
He's got me on the payroll now, so
yeah.
They took 5 years.
No, because I used to do this with a friend named Haas, but he was more into Hegel and stuff, and you're more into what I like, and so I'm like, man, this is exactly the kind of stuff that when stuff interests me, you just go stupid viral for some reason. But all right, the next question is,
I should clarify though that the shadow and the id are actually very different. The id is very primal, it's very biologically driven, whereas Jung would make the argument that the shadow is an element of your psychology, of your personality.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong, guys. There's some differences, but you should be able to equate the id, ego, and superego to Jungian concepts, to Fairbairn, to Winnicott, the object relations therapist.
Yeah. And guys, this is stuff that, like, after we talk about it, when you do audiobooks of this stuff, I didn't get it right away. It took like weeks and months and months. But it's like a puzzle piece. Every time a puzzle piece fits in well, you're arguing with your girl and you go, "Oh shit, I should do this." Yeah. Like the best Jungian client that she worked with him one-on-one. Or I think it was a dude, I forgot, but the quote was, the dude said, "I can't believe how well my marriage went when I found out that I'm not the angel I thought I was." Yeah. That you got to work internally first, right? Yeah. And that's all we want, because then your bitch is in a state of play and she's feminine, right? Arguing is not yap is divorce, guys, right? All right, next question is,
But this is a weekly podcast. We're not going to understand psychoanalysis and Jungian analytical
How
psychology.
can-
You can't understand 100 years of research
Yeah.
in one session. So
Yeah,
hopefully we can get into this over the next few weeks and months and years.
How can I gain the balls to start